Hello and welcome to Sabha TV. I'm Rajya wishing you a very happy new year on News Tonight. Let's have a look at the top headlines. First draft of the National Register of Citizens for Assam published. Draft documents has names of 1.9 crore people out of 3.29 crore applicants. Register updated to detect illegal citizens in the state. On Professor Satyendra Bose's 125th birth anniversary, Prime Minister Modi calls for the use of vernacular languages to promote science. Says it will only foster love for science amongst the youth, but will also make language a facilitator and not a barrier for students. Eight major core sectors register a 12-month high, grow by 6.8% in November compared to 5% rise in October. And US President Donald Trump's scathing attack on Pakistan accuses the country of giving nothing but lies and deceit to US in return of $33 billion in aid over 15 years. Now, a top story. The Assam government has published its first draft of National Register of Citizens. The part draft includes names of 1.9 crore people out of total 3.29 crore applicants in the state. NRC is a register containing names of Indian citizens and is being updated for just Assam to help weed out illegal immigrants.
The first draft of the National Register of Citizens for Assam was published on Sunday midnight. It is a part draft with names of 1.9 crore people out of 3.29 crore applicants. The register has been updated to detect illegal citizens in the state. Addressing a press conference, Registrar General of India, Sailesh Kumar, said, "The rest of the names are under various stages of verification. They will be published subsequently after the completion of verification in the final draft." The RGI also added that the entire process will be completed within 2018.
It has been a huge task for all of us. There were total number of 3.29 applicants. There were nearly 6 crore documents which needed to be verified. We have made substantial progress. Still, there are many verifications which are ongoing. A lot of work needs to be done, and I'm sure with the cooperation that we have got from all sections of society, all organizations, all people of Assam.
Assam's Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal, however, said that those people whose names have been excluded in the first list need not to worry.
अगर इसमें किसी का नाम नहीं भी रहा, उसको चिंता करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सरकार हर जो भी बोनाफाइड इंडियन सिटीजन है, उनके पक्ष में सरकार हमेशा है और रहेगा।
Groundwork for this mammoth exercise began in December 2013. Application process started in May 2015 and a total of 6.5 crore documents were received from 68.27 lakh families across Assam. People can check their names in the first draft at NRC Seva Kendras across Assam from 8 a.m. on January 1st. They can also check for information online and through SMS services. The Supreme Court, which is monitoring the entire process, had ordered that the first draft should be published by December 31st. Assam is the only state that has an NRC which was first prepared in 1951. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Prime Minister Modi has pitched for the use of vernacular languages to promote scientific communication. This, he said, will help develop love of science in the youth. He was addressing the curtain-raiser ceremony of commemoration of Professor Satyendra Bose's 125th birth anniversary in Kolkata via video conferencing.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressing the curtain-raiser ceremony to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Professor Satyendra Bose via video conference. Hailing Bose for his work on popularizing science among the people through vernacular media, the Prime Minister called on scientists to do the same.
Professor Bose was a crusader for teaching of science in vernacular languages. He started the Bengali science magazine, Gyan o Vigyan, to promote understanding and love of science in our youth. It is vital that we promote science communication in a big way. Language should not be a barrier, but a facilitator in this task.
He urged scientists and technology experts to focus on innovations that will resolve the socio-economic problems of the country and make a positive impact on the lives of people.
Development, growth और ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के लिए साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी एक एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी इंजन की तरह काम करती है। मैं आप लोगों से, देश के वैज्ञानिक समुदाय से फिर एक बार आग्रह करूंगा कि अपने इनोवेशन की दिशा हमारे सोशियो इकोनॉमिक चैलेंजेस को ध्यान में रखते हुए तय करें।
Pitching for a strong collaboration between academic and research and development institutions, the Prime Minister announced that the government is setting up 20 institutes of eminence across the country. He also listed the various infrastructural developments his government was undertaking to shore up the science and technology sector.
हम देश में 20 ऐसे संस्थानों के निर्माण का प्रयास कर रहे हैं जो दुनिया में अपनी धाक जमाएं, जिनकी पहचान वर्ल्ड क्लास के तौर पर हो। इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एमिनेंस, इस मिशन में शामिल होने के लिए सरकार हायर एजुकेशन से जुड़ी प्राइवेट और पब्लिक संस्थाओं को निमंत्रित कर रही है। हमने नियमों में बदलाव किया है, कानूनों में बदलाव किया है। पब्लिक सेक्टर के जो संस्थान चयनित होंगे, उन्हें एक तय समय में 1000 करोड़ रुपयों की आर्थिक मदद भी दी जाएगी।
Born on the 1st of January 1894, physicist S.N. Bose is best known for his work on quantum mechanics in the early 1920s. He discovered what is known as the boson particle and worked with Albert Einstein to define one of the two basic classes of subatomic particles. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the latest update on Pulwama terror attack, 36 hours later, the operation against terrorists has been called off. The body of third terrorist was recovered on Monday. On Sunday, heavily armed terrorists launched a suicide attack on a CRPF training camp in Pulwama in Kashmir, in which 5 CRPF personnel were martyred. Body of 3 terrorists was also recovered at the end of counter-operations. Details in the story.
The counter-operation launched by security forces against the militants who attacked a CRPF training camp in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir ended on Monday. In the terror attack, 5 CRPF men were killed while 3 others were injured. Security forces called off the search operation after the recovery of the body of a third militant. Bodies of 2 terrorists was recovered on Sunday.
It was because of the alertness and the professionalism shown by the unit that they got limited to only one or two buildings, and as you know, the operation carried out, and our men fought bravely. They showed a high degree of professionalism, and finally all the 3 militants were killed.
The attack happened on Sunday when terrorists stormed the CRPF camp at Lethpora in Pulwama, armed with under-barrel grenade launchers and automatic weapons, and started firing indiscriminately. According to security forces, this is the first time local terrorists carried out a suicide attack, which has been claimed by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. The 2 terrorists have been identified as Manzoor Ahmed Baba from Pulwama and Fardeen Ahmed Khande from Tral.
कश्मीर में सीआरपीएफ कैंप पर आतंकवादियों ने कायराना हमला किया और उनका मुंहतोड़ जवाब देते हुए हमारे सीआरपीएफ के 5 जवान शहीद हुए हैं। मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि ऐसे हमारे बहादुर जवानों के ऊपर सारे देश को नाज है और इस संकट की घड़ी में पूरा देश उनके परिवार के साथ पूरी मजबूती के साथ खड़ा है और हमारे शहीदों का यह बलिदान किसी भी सूरत में व्यर्थ नहीं जाने पाएगा, यह मैं यकीन दिलाना चाहता हूं।
वो बुखलाहट में चाहे वो क्रॉस बॉर्डर फायरिंग करता है, हमारे चौकियों के जो है फायर करता है, सिविलियंस को मारता है, चाहे बैड एक्शन करके जिस प्रकार से वो कायराना हरकत करता है, चाहे वो उग्रवादियों को अंदर धकेल के उनको मरवा रहा है फिदायनी अटैक करते हुए, लेकिन हम उसकी जो है पूरा जवाब दे रहे हैं, उसको मुंह की खानी पड़ रही है। और साथ साथ डिप्लोमेसी के फ्रंट के ऊपर पाकिस्तान जैसे एक्सपोज हुआ है और पूरी दुनिया में वो जो है आइसोलेट हुआ है, आने वाले वक्त में आप देखेंगे कि पाकिस्तान को जैसा वो करेगा उसको वैसा ही सबक सिखाया जाएगा।
The wreath-laying ceremony of 3 CRPF jawans was also held in their hometowns. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Amid the ceasefire violation by Pakistan, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has hinted that any bilateral cricket series between India and Pakistan is unlikely. Swaraj said this to Parliament's Consultative Committee on the External Affairs during a meeting. Swaraj also said that she had met Pakistan's envoy to India and proposed to him that both countries release prisoners above 70 years of age or women or of unsound mind as part of humanitarian aspect of the relationship. The agenda of meeting was relationship with the neighbourhood. On the possibility of an India-Pakistan cricket series on a neutral venue, the External Affairs Minister said it seemed unlikely till Pakistan stopped cross-border terrorism and firing, saying that terrorism and cricket cannot go hand in hand. Members also sought to know about the impact of Maldives-China proximity on India. The ministry replied that a relationship between India and Maldives remained close and cordial. A day after joining the BJP, Triple Talaq petitioner Ishrat Jahan said she would work for women's rights in the future. Ishrat also praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP government for working tirelessly for the cause of women. She also appreciated that Lok Sabha had cleared the Triple Talaq bill. Ishrat Jahan was one of the 5 petitioners in Triple Talaq case. Her husband had divorced her over the phone from Dubai in 2014 by uttering talaq thrice. She joined the West Bengal unit of BJP on Sunday.
मोदी जी ने समर्थन किया हम लोगों का, उनका स्वागत करते हैं, सम्मान करते हैं। बिल तो पास हुआ, उसके लिए मुझे तो बहुत खुशी है। आने वाले जनरेशन लोगों के लिए जो तकलीफ हम लोग झेल चुके, वो लोग को वो तकलीफ नहीं झेलना पड़ेगा।
Now moving on to a weather update. Cold wave conditions continue to grip large parts of North India. In Jammu and Kashmir, the mercury settled 7 degrees below freezing temperature. Temperatures in South Kashmir's Kazigand settled at low of -4 degrees Celsius. Srinagar recorded a minimum of -3.6 degrees Celsius, while Leh and Ladakh region braved the coldest night so far this year at -15.2 degrees Celsius. In Himachal Pradesh, strong and icy winds swept Shimla and surrounding areas and sky remained heavily overcast. The temperatures dropped to -9.6 degrees Celsius in Keelong. Solang had a low of 2.7 degrees Celsius, while Shimla recorded 4.2 degrees Celsius. In Uttar Pradesh, dense fog and cold waves slowed down normal life at 6.4 degrees Celsius. Lakhimpur Kheri was the coldest place in the state. Day temperatures fell in several parts like Varanasi, Allahabad, Kanpur, Jhansi and Agra. Now, meanwhile, Delhiites today witnessed dense fog for second day in a row, with minimum temperatures settling at 5.7 degrees Celsius. As many as 350 planes flying into and out of Delhi were delayed, diverted or cancelled as season's worst fog reduced visibility to 50 meters at Indira Gandhi International Airport. 15 trains were also cancelled, 56 delayed, while 20 were rescheduled. According to Met Department, the national capital will witness dense fog tomorrow as well before becoming moderate the next day.
This scenario, now as such the winds are also comparatively lighter and moisture availability is also seen. So due to that, this type of fog, it is likely to, we are expecting this to continue for another 3 more days. Afterwards, its severity may decrease. We are expecting this cold day also to continue for at least 2 days more.
The output of 8 major core sectors rose by 6.8% in November as compared to 5% rise seen in October. This is more than 12-month high. This was led primarily by a double-digit jump in cement and steel production as well as sustained rise in refinery products. The 8 core segments, coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizer, steel, cement and electricity cumulatively grew by 3.9% in the first 8 months of the current financial year. This was lower than 4.9% growth in the corresponding period of 2016-17. Economists suggest this could point to an overall industrial revival from November onwards. This is good news considering the index of industrial production plunged to 2.2% in October, slowing down for the third straight month. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu inaugurated Vijayawada Book Festival today. In an address, he said that Indian traditions attach a great importance to books and authors.
The written word has an exalted godlike status in the Vedas, indicating the importance that books and literature have in the Indian culture. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said this while inaugurating the Vijayawada Book Festival on Monday, where Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu was also present.
అక్షరం అనేది పుట్టిన తర్వాత అది ఏ దారిని వెతుక్కుంటూ ఎక్కడ ప్రవహిస్తుందో ఎవరి జ్ఞానాన్ని పంచి ఇస్తుందో పెంచిస్తుందో వర్ధిల్లుతుందో ఎన్ని మార్పులకు దారితీస్తుందో అది మనం చెప్పలేం అందుకే అక్షరానికి మనం దైవస్థానాన్ని ఇచ్చాం.
The Vice President called on professionals in cinema, music and other art forms to promote peace. He also complimented the Andhra Pradesh government for its efforts in popularizing Telugu language. While expressing happiness at the move by the state government to dedicate year 2018 to promote and protect the Telugu language.
విజయవాడకు తిరిగి మళ్ళా పునర్వైభవం వచ్చేటికి అవకాశం కూడా ఉంది. ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో కూడా ఈ పుస్తక మహోత్సవాలు జరపాలి. దాంతోపాటు ఇంకో కొత్త నిర్ణయాన్ని కూడా నేను ప్రకటిస్తాను మంత్రివర్గంతో చర్చించి అన్నాడు. అదేంటంటే సంస్కృతికి విభాగము గ్రంథాలయము ఈ రెండింటిని కానీ కలిసి సమన్వయం చేసి సమ్మిళితం చేస్తే తగిన నిధులు తగిన విధులు ఆ విధులు నిర్వర్తించే అధికారులు కూడా వస్తారు కాబట్టి అది కూడా ఒక మంచి బాట అని చెప్పి అనుకుంటున్నా. మన భాషను పరిరక్షించుకోవడానికి మన సంస్కృతిని పరిరక్షించుకోవడానికి మన చరిత్రను మన పిల్లలకు తెలియజేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఎంతో ఉంది. ఆ పని ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు చేపట్టడం చాలా సంతోషం.
Earlier, the Vice President, along with Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, inaugurated the book exhibition on the PWD grounds. He also visited stalls distributing Telugu books on literature, art and science. Rajkumar Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's have a look at some more updates from across the country and nationwide. 2 managers of a rooftop pub in Mumbai have been arrested in connection with the fire in Kamla Mills on December 29. 14 people lost their lives in that fire. Kevin Bawa and Lisbon Lopez, who worked with One Above Pub, have now been sent to police custody till December 9. Reports say that these two were present in pub, started but fled without helping the guest. Cases of negligence, culpable homicide have been already registered against the pub owners. The two were arrested in the same case. An independent MLA from Rajasthan, Rajkumar Sharma, has tendered his resignation from the Assembly as a mark of protest. Sharma is a former Minister of State for Medical and Health. He announced his decision to quit from the House in protest against the government's handling of doctors' strike in November and December. No punitive action will be taken against unauthorized colonies in Delhi till the year 2020. This after President Ramnath Kovind gave his assent to National Capital Territory of Delhi Law Special Provisions Second Amendment Act 2017. The new law has extended time till December 31st, 2020 to protect some slums and unauthorized colony in National Capital Region till the framework for orderly arrangements are in place. Now, in a scathing attack on Pakistan, US President Donald Trump has accused Pakistan of giving nothing but lies and deceit to US in return of $33 billion aid. He also said Islamabad was providing a safe haven to terrorists. In his first tweet of the year, Trump took on Pakistan, indicating country's attitude towards fighting terror will not be tolerated further. This is the strongest attack yet that has come from the US president, and they have come days after a report that US is considering withholding $225 million in aid to Pakistan to reflect its dissatisfaction with the latter's reluctance in war against terrorism. In November last year, the US had strongly condemned release of Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed by Pakistan, demanding his immediate rearrest and prosecution. At the start of New Year 2018, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has warned the United States that nuclear button was always on his desk. In his annual New Year's Day address, Kim Jong-un said that entire mainland of US was within the range of the nuclear weapons and that nuclear button was always on the desk of his office. He further said that this was not a threat but a reality. South Korean Kim also declared that his country was responsible nuclear nation and said that as long as there was no aggression directed at it, we will not intend to use nuclear powers. While he remained defiant in his confrontation with Donald Trump, Kim struck a more conciliatory note on relations with neighbor South Korea, offering to start talks on sending a North Korean delegation to the upcoming Winter Olympics in Pyongyang. Tension has been rising between the United States and North Korea in recent months. Last week, a UN Security Council unanimously adopted new sanctions on North Korea to further strangle its energy supplies and use of North Korean workers overseas.
미국 번터 전역이 우리의 핵 타격 사정권 안에 있으며 핵 단추가 내 사무실 책상 위에 항상 놓여 있다는 것. 이는 결코 위협이 아닌 현실임을 똑바로 알아야 합니다. 핵탄두들과 탄도로켓들을 대량 생산하여 실전 배치하는 사업에 박차를 가해 나가야 합니다.
Iranian President Hassan Rouhani addressed the nation on Sunday, calling for restraint in the backdrop of widespread protest against his government, calling for dissent that would help improvement of country's conditions. He also took a dig at US President Donald Trump for supporting the anti-government demonstrations in Tehran.
Iranians are free to protest against the government but must not jeopardize security. President Hassan Rouhani said this after 4 days of demonstrations. Speaking at a cabinet session on Sunday, he acknowledged that there were problems that needed to be solved but warned that violence will not be tolerated. He acknowledged grievances about the economic situation, a lack of transparency and corruption, but defended his record.
مردم راجع به فساد حرف دارن. مردم راجع به شفافیت حرف دارن. میگن مسائل شفاف باشه. مردم میخوان در بخش قانونگذاری، در بخش اجرایی، در بخش قضایی، در بخش‌های دیگر کشور.
Meanwhile, in a Twitter message on the issue, US President Donald Trump said Iranians are finally getting wise as to how their money and wealth is being stolen and squandered on terrorism. Rouhani rebuffed Trump's comments, saying that he had no right to sympathize with Iranians since just a few months back he called Iran a terrorist nation.
ما نباید اجازه بدیم که آمریکایی که در داخل خودش اون همه مشکلات داره، مردم آمریکا که از شرایط امروز سیاسی آمریکا و اجتماعی آمریکا نگران هستند.
A crowd of Iranian Americans rallied in front of White House on Sunday to voice their support for the ongoing anti-government protest in Iran and to call for overthrow of the leadership of the Islamic Republic. The protests in Iran have been the biggest show of dissent since huge rallies in 2009. There have been clashes in several cities. The anti-government protest started on Thursday in northeastern city of Mashhad on the issue of rising food and gasoline prices, but spread to other cities and turned political.
برای آزادی مملکتم و برای آزادی مردمم و آرزو میکنم یک روز تمام مردم ایران از دست این ملاهای کثافت آزاد بشن.
9 years ago there was still hope that there are two groups within the Iranian government, but this demonstration shows that that story is over. The motto of the demonstration was regime change.
The temporary restrictions on the apps Telegram and Instagram have been imposed to maintain tranquility. Telegram in particular is very popular in Iran, with more than 50% of the country's 80 million population said to be active on the app. President Hassan Rouhani was re-elected in May. He championed the 2015 nuclear deal with Western powers that saw sanctions lifted in return for a few limits on Iran's nuclear development. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's take a look at some more updates from across the world in Global Buzz. A Costa Rican plane crashed into wooded area, killing 10 US citizens and 2 local pilots. The accident occurred in mountainous area of Punta Elita beach town near the capital of St. Jose. Director of Costa Rica's Civil Aviation Agency said the aircraft, which was operated by a local company, Nature Air, crashed minutes after takeoff, but officials had not yet determined the cause of the crash. At least 8 people were killed after a boat carrying 48 passengers capsized in Indonesia's Kalimantan Islands. The National Rescue Agency said 13 passengers remain missing while the rest has been rescued. The boat was on its way from Tanjung Selor to Tarakan on Indonesian side of Borneo Island when it overturned and sank. A huge fire in Liverpool, England, destroyed hundreds of vehicles and prompted evacuation of multiple buildings in surrounding areas. Firefighters battled the blaze. The Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service said the initial investigations indicated that accidental fire within one vehicle spread to others. Now here are some updates from the world of sports in Sports Beat. Indian cricket team skipper Virat Kohli retained the second spot in latest ICC Test rankings. Australian's captain Steve Smith took top position on the table. England's Alistair Cook jumped 9 places to 8 after an unbeaten double century in Ashes series. There was no change in the top 9 positions of the bowlers ranking, with England's James Anderson leading the board. India's Ravichandran Ashwin finished 3rd, while Ravindra Jadeja holds the 4th position. Martin Guptill, New Zealand 13-man squad for the first 2 one-day internationals against Pakistan. The opener recovered from hamstring injury and will replace George Worker on the side. Colin de Grant Pomp, who missed the series against West Indies, was not included in the squad. New Zealand and Pakistan will play 5-match ODI series followed by 3 T20 internationals. Australia's Daria Gavrilova beat Eugen Burkhardt in straight sets, but Thanasi Kokinakis was made to work harder to beat Canada's Vasek Pospisil to give Australia a winning start to the Hopman Cup campaign against Canada. Gavrilova beat Burkhardt 6-1, 6-4 in the round-robin stage of 8 Nations mixed team event at Perth Arena. In the men's singles, Kokinakis beat Pospisil 6-4, 3-6, 6-3. Canadians, however, won the doubles match. Arsenal played out a frustrating 1-1 draw against West Brom to climb 5th position on the table. 3 points behind 4th place Liverpool. Alexis Sanchez scored the opener in 83rd minute with a free kick, which went inside a net after deflection from James McLean. But a last-minute penalty from J. Rodriguez levelled the match 1-1.
J. Rodriguez scores! One apiece with 2 minutes to play. Record-breaking down. Lacazette, it will be Lacazette again.
That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.